Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading today. So we have some cards that have already been drawn and let's get straight into it. So today's reading is going to be for the next 1 to 30 days for whenever you see this reading here. So the first card we have here is Thinking, and we also have the card Myth. And now, when I first pulled this card here, it came out reversed, and so I do want to talk about it in a reversed kind of sense. Myth for me talks about storytelling, creating something from nothing. And the thinking card often talks about sort of like taking the time to intellectualize something, to give thought to something, and oftentimes doing that in order to create something. So, with these two cards together, it really does give the essence of trying to create a story, trying to recreate a story, and particularly dealing with your life. So I feel like you guys are rebranding yourself in a sense, recreating yourself, but also in a sense, because you are recreating yourself is also something that is important for not only you to acknowledge, but the people around you to acknowledge, whether this is family, friends, or strangers. Kitties are play fighting. So yeah, there's a sense here of importance of recreating yourself, but also too there is a sense here of like I want to say for some like spirituality or religion playing a part. So let me see a bit about that as well. But before we try to delve into that to see what that's about, we have this rune here for you guys for this month or the next 30 days. And this rune for you guys is in reverse today. So it gives a essence of part of this reading, including something revolving around like miscommunication or misunderstanding. This could either be that the people around you don't understand like this new version of you that you're creating, or that because of this new person that you're becoming, maybe feeling a disconnect with like whatever spiritual or religious beliefs that you have. So it's one or the other, or it could be both for some of you guys. But definitely a sense here that you are recreating, and that it's going to be important for you to find out how to connect this new person to the relationships that you already have with people, and to if this applies to your spirituality and religion. So we have an oracle card here for you guys, serendipity. So serendipity oftentimes can talk about things like synchronicity. So if you feel like you've been seeing like repeating numbers, or say that a loved one passed away and you guys are really into like a certain bird and you start to see that bird a lot, just as examples. But serendipity talking about seeing signs and symbols that give you a sense of connectedness to something else, or give you a sense of good fortune, right? So something that you experience or see as a sign of good luck. And really wanting to come in and say that you do have good luck and good fortune and whatever changes that you are currently making in regards to yourself. And because of the changes that you have been making, I feel like you're becoming more aligned with whatever sense of self um, related to your spirituality or something greater than you. I hope that makes sense. So, maybe in the past you felt like you wanted to be more connected to something or to someone greater than you. So, like, for example, if you're a Christian and you wanted to feel more connected to God, or if you're Muslim and you wanted to feel more connected to Allah, that sort of thing. Like, I feel like you're getting to a point where you're starting to feel more connected, and because of that, you're starting to see more signs of synchronicities, see more signs of good fortune, experience more blessings, experience, just more things that make you feel like, okay, I'm Christian, for example, and I definitely feel connected to God, or I definitely feel connected to Jesus. That sort of essence, I feel like, is what you guys are experiencing. And if this isn't, connected to a religion in particular, this could just be that you feel more connected to self, right? Because sometimes um, there is a sense of, self being that thing that is also greater than us. If and you'll know, you'll know if you know what I mean. But yeah, this could just be a sense of connectedness to yourself, even if this is like, you don't have a name for it, or maybe you do. Maybe you consider that your higher self or universal consciousness or something like that. But whatever it is, there is a sense of connectedness to something greater than you. So definitely know, like, you are in your lucky girl era, lucky guy era, just being lucky in general, in the next 30 days, and really feeling that. So I want to get some relationship readings, and just some extra information as well, because this reading is very positive. Like, you guys have a lot of positive things going on right now, and I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. A lot of good stuff. And if you are in an area where like spring is coming up for you, oh my gosh, I feel like you're gonna be like, oh, this is amazing. Like, it's getting warmer. I'm seeing all these awesome things happening. So the first card that we have that just came out for you is Perception. So perception is coming out to say a lot of what you may be experiencing will rely on being able to see the signs and synchronicities, right? So, say for example, you start to see repeating numbers, and instead of telling yourself that it's confirmation bias, you start to attribute meaning to those numbers, and that really being connected to the perception that you added to that thing. And really kind of, I guess, for you guys being that, because you added that. So say for example you started to see the numbers 222, and you tell yourself that, when I see the number 222, it means this. So now, as time goes, you start to say, each time you see it, it's a reminder of that meaning that you attributed to it. All right, we also have that showed up in the deck here. We have honoring your energy. And we also have ancient wisdom. Let me move this out the way. Ancient wisdom. So yeah, you guys are really, I want to say, for some of you guys, do you do something where you share wisdom with other people? Because this feels like whatever connection you have to self, you start to share with others. And so this may just be for a few of you guys. Also, too, this could be talking about like writing these things down so that you can refer to them later and share with others. But it's definitely coming up, like you maybe wanting to share this experience that you're having of recreating yourself, whether this is just with friends and family or with a larger group of people who may also later be going through that experience. I think something that you may find important and wanting to share is this experience of deciding for yourself what were signs and synchronicities, what were signs of positive omens, and really sort of giving this essence or sense of control of the experience that someone has with, whatever whatever connection they have to, God or Allah or nature, for example, like whatever connection that is. I think that you guys have had an experience where you've really tailored it to yourself, and you will be able to speak to that experience for someone else who may be struggling to, I guess, specialize their religion or spirituality to them. I think a good example of this could be, say someone grew up Christian or got introduced to the Christian religion, and the way that they were initially introduced to it was including like homophobia, for example. But that person may be a part of the LGBTQ community and may be struggling with trying to find a good balance between this connection to God, but not having it be one in which they have a belief that people who are part of the LGBT community go to hell, right? And so I feel like the experience that you're having is one that can speak on something like that, where a person is given permission by themselves to experience a religion in a unique way and letting that be okay. Especially if, because of their unique way, no longer allows them to experience this in a community setting. So maybe because their uniqueness of wanting to experience this religion um, is vastly different than the communities that they know of. They either find a different community that aligns with that difference, or they start to practice this solo by themselves. And you can really empower these people to experience this by themselves and letting them know that it's okay, that they are not doing something wrong. Can we get one more card from this deck? Thank you. We have integrate. Wow. We have integration. So yes, like you, whether this is just people close to you or a larger community, you are really speaking to people who are wanting to integrate their spiritual beliefs in a way that really matches with them, really lines with their mindset, with their morals, with their values, and you do a damn good job at it. I'm sorry, I have to say that because I'm feeling it. Like you guys do it in a way where people get to a point of comfort with themselves that is like unmatched. It really is. All right, let us. I want to pull some relationship cards. It may or may not specifically relate. You know. Oh, I do see here as I'm putting the deck to the side that you have another card that came out, Joy. Um, you know, I feel like that's just talking about the experience that you're having, the experience that people will have, because of the acceptance that they give themselves in their spiritual and religious experience. So, let us pull some relationship cards for those of you who may find relationship reading to be helpful or important in this present moment. For Taurus, wow, core values. Did we not just literally a few seconds ago talk about this? Okay, so seek partners whose core values align with your own. Meet your tribe at places of interest to you. OMG. All right, so this is relationship and non relationship reading related. So, non relationship related is meet your tribe at places of interest to you, just like we were talking about. So if you can no longer go to a church because, maybe that church community is homophobic, finding one where they are openly accepting of the LGBTQ community as an example. So meet your tribe at places of interest to you. Seek partners whose core values align with your own. I feel like, again, that relates to that. But if, say, you're in a relationship or you're considering getting into the relationship, this could just be talking about needing it to be important for that religion aspect to really match up. All right, let's get one more relationship card. We're going to take it from this deck here. Be here now. To attract your love, abundance, and joy into your life, allow yourself to live more fully in the present moment. Find more time for fun and playfulness, reconnect and rediscover your passions in life and doing the things you love. So, yeah, you guys, like, your religion is really important to you, your spirituality is really important to you, the things that align with your morals and values are really important to you. And I think that as you get to a space where you really feel free and are allowing yourself to experience those things fully, OMG, like the experience of life for you just feels more full. It feels more unrestricted. It feels more carefree. Like, imagine, for example, let's use the church example again. Like, imagine trying to connect to a community knowing that you are a part of the LGBT community and this community is homophobic versus being LGBTQ, going to a church that is not homophobic, is openly accepting of, that lifestyle, of this part of you that is so important, and being able to make friends, to make connections, to go to Bible study, those sorts of things, when, in this other community, you wouldn't be able to do those things. You wouldn't be able to open up. You wouldn't be able to connect in the same way. I think that's amazing. All right, one more card, please. All right, I think that is it for this pile. So, let us get into some of the like emotional aspects, a little bit more, because over here we take care of our mental health. We talk about our mental health. I also did pull a card for you guys for sort of like something that you can do that will like emotionally help you, something that will be a good like tool that you can add to your like emotional toolkit, especially when you're going through certain stuff. So let me talk about that first before we actually even pull some more of these, or pull some of these cards. So the card that you had was reward others for meeting your request. So it says reward the person you are making the request of by letting him or her know that positive consequences will occur if your request is met. So this could be, I'll give you, sorry, the cat is like jumping all over the place. So this could be, for example, say that you have a loved one who is trying to acclimate to some of the changes that you've made as a person, and they do something that is positive for you, as this new person, and you praise them for that. So maybe you'll say like, "Oh, mom, like I really appreciate you being so accepting," or, "I really appreciate you defending me to this person," or, "I really appreciate you saying this," or, "I really appreciate you correcting yourself in this instance." This card really talks about those moments where you find that you can reinforce positive behavior in another person, taking those opportunities to do so. So that's what this card is talking about. If you find that that would be a tool that would be helpful for you. All right, so let's get a few cards here. Oh boy, as they come out. Okay, so we have patience and tender. So I feel like the patience and tender card is really coming in to talk about that skill that you may find helpful, that you may find that you are needing to use a lot of patience with people. Say for example, you share with them your gender identity or the pronouns that you would prefer them to use with you, and they are getting acclimated. So they may use like your dead name, for example, but they're really trying to get used to using the new name that you have, things like that. But also to being gentle with yourself, and also noticing when people are purposefully not trying to be accepting, or not trying to acclimate, because I think that there's going to be a period in time, even beyond the 30 days, in which you're going to be asking yourself, who no longer aligns with my core values, who no longer aligns with who I am as a person, and then deciding what you want to do about that. Because I think that's going to be really important. You guys are also trying to, in the same way, figure out who is my community, who do I want to be around me. Maybe there were people in your life where you notice, for example, that they were homophobic, and you hadn't yet shared your sexual identity with anyone. And so, now that you have, come out, maybe for example, or, you're not in the closet anymore, that you are noticing whether or not those people are willing to be accepting of you, and then deciding what you want to do with those relationships. That way you're also taking care of yourself. We have playful, and let's get one more to clarify. Playful. I feel like there's like one card in here that like keeps trying to come out and it's not. All right, we have humor, and I want to get one more card. You guys are definitely going to get to a point where you don't feel like you have to take yourself so seriously, because you have done the work to make sure that people are taking you seriously. Kin, yeah. So this for some of you guys is really family that you're gonna have the biggest difficulty with, because you may live with these people or you're closely related to them. You know, maybe your family does a lot of like family events, or like during the holidays, a lot of people gather. So you may find that throughout these next 30 days, throughout this next, it could be just this next year, really figuring out how to navigate these spaces, really figuring out how to reinforce the positive behaviors that people do, but also too, um, I won't say for everyone that you are calling out behaviors that you don't like, but you may simply be deciding that when you start to notice those patterns that you just don't relate. Maybe you stop talking to that person, or you'll decide, say you go to like a Thanksgiving dinner, and Uncle Charlie is like super homophobic, and you just like, oh my god, I can't deal with him. You will decide to go and chat up the cousins or chat up the aunties so that you don't have to deal with that uncle, as a way to honor yourself, especially when this isn't a case where you can reward positive behavior and instead you're trying to navigate negative or unpleasant behaviors from other people. Playful humor again. Yeah, you guys, eventually, I promise, based on this reading at least, it looks like you will be able to enjoy the fruits of this change. And I'm happy for you guys. This is not an easy change that you're making, but it is definitely an important one. And you guys are doing the thing. So, Taurus, I appreciate you allowing me to do this reading. As always, remember that you guys are doing the best you can with the knowledge and skills that you have in this present moment. And I hope that this reading was confirmation for you guys. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye, Taurus.